Now, for more on this matter, we're now joined by Sadtu's media officer, Nomusa Cembi, and she joins us now via our telephone line. Nomusa, thank you so much for your time this evening here on SABC News. Now, this has been a rather contentious matter, particularly when it comes to the government of national unity. Now that we saw this law being signed in by President Ramaphosa, and particularly those two clauses that seemed to be an issue, what is your take on it as Sadtu, now that we finally see this being implemented in its entirety?
Good evening and good evening to SABC viewers. We welcome the promulgation of the law. It's in entirety, and we have been pushing for this, and we said from the onset that there was no justification for delaying the implementation of Process 4 and 5 for further consultation, because we felt that this undermined the wide-ranging legitimate processes that were conducted over many years, in which all parties, including those in the government of national unity, participated. We are happy that the law has been promulgated, and we are happy that the attempts of the right-wing formations to manipulate the law for the benefit of a select few were unsuccessful.
And Nomusa, we know that, there was a protest conducted by the likes of Solidarity, showing, their rejection towards the BELA Act. And when it comes to, political parties like the DA now coming on board and finally agreeing to this matter, what do you make of it?
Yes, we were worried from the onset, before even that march by Solidarity and the DA. We were worried at the posture of the Minister of Basic Education, who is a DA member, when she boycotted the signing ceremony. We felt that the DA was politicizing the matter. Even the minister was not conducting herself as a minister, but she was conducting herself as a representative of the DA, which we felt was unprofessional, was unethical, and we said at that time that if she cannot abide by what what her position dictates, she should rather leave the position rather than to be there to push the agenda of the DA, when all due processes were observed to hit the point of signing the bill into law. We must know very well that it took about slightly more than 10 years to reach the point of signing the bill into an act.
And there have been, some reports of some Afrikaans schools, being very apprehensive towards the BELA Act, and, some quarters saying that, well, this is an attack on mother tongue education. When it comes to now this being fully implemented in its entirety, Nomusa, what does it mean for mother tongue languages, being implemented in our schools?
We feel this is those allegations are not true. They are just used to put aspersions on the act. There is no way where the act says that it is out there to ensure that it kills or it destroys Afrikaans. In fact, the law is there to ensure that all 13 South African languages are recognized in our education system, and we want to dispel the myth that there are people who are saying it's an African school and all. In South Africa, South Africa is a country that has so many languages, so it's no more. This act allows for the head of department to have the final say in the language policy of a school, in the admission policy of a school. And they are not happy with that, because it's no more going to be the SGB deciding on their own that today we are going to, or this year our language is going to be this. It will be decided by the demographics of the community. And the head of department will have to take into account what the demographics says. So it's no more people who are just going to wake up and say we are this language now. So it is a process. Even the HOD cannot just decide on his own. He will have to take before he makes a decision. He will have to take into account the demographics of the area. He will have to consult with the community, with the parents. So it's not intended to kill Africans at all, but it is there to ensure that a more equitable and accessible quality education for all South African children.
And now the ball is in the court of the Basic Education Minister, who now has to come up with the regulations for the BELA Act. And as Sadtu, what are your expectations from the Minister as she draws up these regulations?
We expect the Minister to come up with to establish the necessary regulations and policies to facilitate the implementation of the Act. However, we are worried about what the DA leader, Helen Zille, has said about that issue, that it may take years for this to be in place. We are surprised as to how this can take so many years to be implemented, because already there are norms and standards in place, and they'll have to be adjusted and aligned with the Act. The BELA Act is not something new. The BELA Act was put in place. It's refining the existing South African Schools Act. So some of the things are already there in the Act. So we are surprised, as what the DA is saying, as if we are going to start afresh. Yes, it may take time, but not the time frame that the DA has said. We want to see the law being implemented as soon as possible, and we do not anticipate that it can take years. So, and this makes us to be worried as to whether the DA is trying its best to circumvent or to block the implementation of the Act. Because when the minister came, first it was the DA that spoke on the matter before the minister could speak. So we are worried that this thing is being politicized. The DA is politicizing this matter. We are appealing to the DA to say, leave the matter alone, let the processes follow, because the processes are there. We are not reinventing the wheel. The wheel is there. Things have got to be now tweaked and adjusted to align with what the Act is now dictating.
All right, Nomusa, thank you so much for your time. That is Sadtu's media officer, Nomusa Cembi, just giving us their perspective as Sadtu when it comes to the implementation of the BELA Act that was signed fully into law by the President on the 20th of December.